Good morning. It is Saturday, September 11th. We're still at the boardwalk. We are just finishing up getting ready now. It's a little bit before 10:30 a.m. So we slept in, which was fantastic. And Adam braided my hair, which is awesome. So yeah, we're gonna head over to Epcot. One of my friends just texted me that they're letting people in already at like slightly before 10:30, even though, park's not open till 11. So we're gonna hang out with some friends at Epcot for the first part of the day, and then probably head back to Hollywood Studios to try to get more done. But it should be a great day, and I can't wait to take you along. We got into the park before 10:40, and they haven't stopped us yet. We're walking through the UK. Canada looks open, so if we can, we're gonna try to make our way over to Test Track and do that before it breaks down for the day. Yeah, so a great morning so far, and it's not too hot. The sun's not really out. We've got lots of cloud cover, but I don't think it's gonna rain, at least not for a bit. So yeah, having a good time. Just got done at Test Track. The standby line was really long. Cast member said it was probably 60 or 65 minutes because it was before park opening. They actually didn't, cars are loud. They didn't post the wait times, but we hopped in single rider and that was legit a walk on. So that was cool. We finished up with Test Track before the park actually opened. It's now official park opening and we're heading over to Mission Space to do that before we start drinking for the day. Should be a good time? Question mark. I didn't take a Dramamine this morning, so we'll see how it goes. All right, we just got off Mission to Mars. We did the orange track. It was pretty much a walk-on. I think we waited like 2 minutes in line something. We got a craft to ourselves, so we sat in the middle 2 seats, but we're able to reach the outside controls.
Yeah.
So we pushed all the buttons on time, and I think that definitely helps make it smoother.
Yeah, there's less.
Yeah. I am a little lightheaded, but it actually, from a motion sickness standpoint, wasn't that bad for me. It makes you feel really heavy.
Beginning is the hardest part.
Yeah, but actually the screen and stuff isn't so disorienting for my brain. It doesn't, I don't feel like the movements are mismatching what I'm seeing. So we're taking a little bit of a breather. We're drinking some water and sitting down, but overall pretty good. And yeah, we have done quite a lot already, I think. And it's my watch is on my wrist that's holding up the camera. It's 11:30, not even, so a great start to the day. And now that we've done Mission Space, we can start eating and drinking, so hooray. All right, it's about 11:35. We're over near Imagination Pavilion, obviously. We're gonna head up and do Living with the Land and then Journey into Imagination. Both are 5-minute posted wait times, and then after that, I think we're gonna eat.
The tropics are home to the greatest diversity of plants on the planet. Many of these, like papaya, bananas, cacao, coffee, and rice, are well known around the world.
So we finished up Living with the Land and Journey into Imagination, super fun. We met up with some friends and now we are starting our Eating Around the World adventure at Swanky Saucy Swine. Adam and I are gonna share the sticky ribs and then also the porchetta. And I think we're gonna make our way over to the Italy Pavilion and try to get those mezzalunas, even though they're very overpriced, but I want them, so whatever.
Later.
Hello, we are back at the room at the boardwalk. So last we checked in, I think we had done a bunch of rides in the morning at Epcot. It was actually a really productive morning. We were able to get in well before park opened. I mean, we finished Test Track before park even opened, and then we also did Mission Space, we did Living with the Land, we did Imagination, so that was fun. After that, in the Figment gift shop, we met up with Jen and Frank Cardillo from Dillo's Days. You may know them from their Theme Park Thursday podcast. If you don't, I highly suggest you check them out. They're super fun podcasts, and also they're just really great people, so it was nice to meet up with them. And then we met up with some other friends who I think may not want to be named, but eventually we had a party of 7. We walked all of World Showcase, stopping here and there to get bites and nibbles.
I think we all got something from Saucy Swanky Swine. Adam and I split the sticky pork ribs and then also the porchetta. The porchetta was a huge portion. I think it was an accident, honestly, how big it was. But I thought both were really good.
Yeah, it was excellent. The flavors of the sticky soy glazed ribs were excellent. And, can't go wrong with porchetta. Just the recipe for that is just
so
fire.
Good. Yeah,
and we got a
indulgent
nice big slice.
Yeah. I think everyone else got the pork rinds with some dip. And
they seem to love it.
They seem to like it, but they definitely also mentioned that there wasn't like enough pork rind to eat all the dip. Like everyone had a ton of dip left over, so something to keep in mind, I guess. And most of them also got the Bloody Mary that had like a strip of bacon in it, and they all seem to like that pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't really drink Bloody Marys. I'm not a fan. So we did not get an alcoholic beverage at that. And then we kept moving on. I had really wanted to go to the Italy Food and Wine booth for the fried mezzaluna the whole time. It's been like a big thing on my list, and I'd heard that they sell out kind of early. So previous times when we were in Epcot, thinking about getting food and wine food.
Late.
It was like later and I didn't want to risk it. But this time it was like 12:30 or something, so I figured it was fine. And actually the line for Italy, that booth, was pretty short. I was really surprised because other lines we'd walked past were very long, like the Hawaii line, super long. The China line, super long. But Italy wasn't bad, so we got the fried mezzalunas. They were $12. That food booth is really overpriced if you ask me, and I knew that going in. But there were 5 mezzalunas, I think, for $12, so at least it was a decent portion. And I also got an Italian margarita, and that was good. It wasn't like anything to write home about, but the mezzalunas were actually really quite delicious. So while very overpriced, I still am glad that we got them.
Check the box for exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like I knew I was just gonna overspend on it, but I was very happy with it, so whatever. We kept walking. Adam grabbed a beer in Germany, right? How was that?
It was good. It was hot at the time, and it was a nice way to cool off.
Yeah. And then we took some group pics along the way, which is always fun when you have a memory maker and can share them out with everybody. We also stopped in France at the general stand, not the food and wine stand, but the general one that sells drinks, to get some slushes. So I think most everyone got a Grand Marnier slush. Adam and I split the more expensive one that has the extra shot of Grand Marnier. We didn't get the cute cup again. They normally serve it in like a cute little martini plastic cup, and we didn't get that a couple days ago. We didn't get it today, even though Jen, I think, from Dilla's Diz got hers in a cute cup. So I don't know what that's about. I'm a little bit annoyed, but sorry that the pics are bland and not that Instagrammable. It's not my fault. And yeah, we continued around World Showcase. I know we stopped in Appleseed Orchard and had some cider. Where else did we stop?
Yeah, after that we stopped in like the beer hall.
Oh yeah, we did the brewing thing for wings, and I think some people got beers or whatever, but mostly for wings. We wanted to make our way back around to the America Pavilion for Moonshine Sours. So that's just at Regal Eagle. It's not part of Food and Wine.
Yeah, before we did that, we did the 3 Caballeros.
Oh yeah, we rode the Grand Fiesta Tour as a group. I was hoping we would get a whole boat to ourselves since it was a bigger party. That didn't quite happen, but that was fine. The posted wait time was 20 minutes, and it was practically a walk-on.
It was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we did wait a little bit in line, but it was not 20 minutes. So.
Yeah, I think the problem is Mexico is so busy. They will stop people from coming in, period, when they reach capacity. And I think they were just off and on at capacity.
Yeah, but the ride was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cute. It was cute to do that with the group. And then at the America Pavilion, on our walk over, it started raining. And it started raining a little harder. And then it lightened up. And then it poured.
Fortunately, we got to the America Pavilion
pretty much right on time.
Right on time, yeah. So the skies opened up probably a few minutes after we arrived at America.
And then that was very cyclical in terms of raining crazy hard. Looks like it's raining lighter, raining really hard again, etc. But Adam braved one of the lighter periods that turned into a heavier period to get us Moonshine Sours. Those are great. It's pretty much like a Jolly Rancher in a drink. It's so, there's not alcohol in that. It's so drinkable. So tasty. But yeah, so thanks to Adam for doing that, bringing us drinks to entertain ourselves while we took cover from the rain. And that lasted
Like a little bit.
like a while, like at least 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, it was probably about 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was a while. Dillos left. I think they got probably absolutely drenched in that downpour because it had lightened up a little bit.
And they're like, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, and they were like, okay, we're gonna go. And then it did that thing where it poured. So I'm pretty sure they got screwed. But they had other plans to attend to, so they kind of had to get going, which we get, but I hope they're okay. Meanwhile, I'm just like standing undercover, staying completely dry.
Enjoying our drink.
Yeah. But yeah, so we had a drink, and then we ended up getting another round of moonshine sours. Thanks so much to Rob for buying those. We really appreciate it. And then we decided to take our midday break. So we came back to the hotel and stretched and used the Theragun a little bit, changed out of our sweaty, now very wet clothes from the rain, even though we didn't get poured on. We weren't in the rain and clothes were wet. And then we decided to check out Three Bridges over at Coronado. It had been on my list. Specifically, they have this Manchego cheese dip that I really wanted to try, and just in general, it looked good. It was a 105-minute wait for the walk-up wait list, and you can't make reservations. That's kind of the only way to do it. But you can also order food to go, and so we figured, okay, well, worst come to worst, we can post up at a bar, like at Dahlia Lounge at Coronado Springs, order the food to go, bring the food back to the bar, and like, that's fine. So we headed over. I signed up for the walk-up wait list. Parking there was really easy. Parking at the Disney resorts can be super variable in terms of how aggressive they are about letting you park or not. And I was a little bit worried because it's not a reservation per se. It's like I joined the walk-up wait list that they might not let us park. But honestly, we just told them like, hey, we're trying to eat at Three Bridges. And they're like, all right, drive right in. That was it. I didn't have to show them anything.
Flash my ID.
Oh yeah, they did ask for Adam was driving. They asked for Adam's ID.
That was it.
And they didn't even really look at it. So I'm not sure what the point of that is, but whatever. So we drove around Coronado to park pretty close to Three Bridges. And then we went over there and we asked like, hey, we joined the walk-up wait list, but it's like, 2 hours. Can we sit at the bar? And they ended up being able to clear off, not like proper bar seats for us, but like bar-esque seats that are at a railing that overlooked the lake, like looking at Grand Destino Tower. So we waited, 5 or 10 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, very short.
Very short, and way shorter than 105 minutes, and we were able to eat there at Three Bridges, which was awesome.
Overlooking the water.
Overlooking the water. It was so peaceful, so beautiful, and they spaced it out really well where there was another party next to us on the railing, but they were pretty far away. Like I couldn't hear practically a word they were saying. So we really had our own little corner to ourselves, which was awesome. We split a pitcher of the rosé sangria. It was tasty and good. I don't think it was like phenomenal or fantastic or anything like crazy special, but it was good.
Refreshing.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And then we shared the Manchego cheese dip. That was excellent. And they like torch the top so it's like bubbly and like crusty, cheesy, like everything you want. And the amounts of like chorizo and peppers and like non-cheese stuff in there is small, which is what I wanted. So it's not like an overwhelming like chorizo heavy dip or anything. So that was great. And then our friend got chimichurri steak entree. Adam got pork tacos, right? Mm-hmm. I got the chicken coconut curry. Everyone agreed mine won by far. It was so tasty. I'm so glad I got it. It was so delicious. It was like creamy, nutty, a little bit spicy. Like it was very well balanced. And the portion was pretty big. I think it was $18 or $19, which for a chicken entree on Disney property is not bad at all. Our friend got the tres leches cake for dessert, and it was like meh. I think meh is correct. Meh to worse. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. That's all I'll say about that. But yeah, and then we dropped our friend off back at their car, and now we're back at Boardwalk. This is our last night in the Boardwalk Villas. Tomorrow we are moving over to Bay Lake Tower, which we're so excited about. It's really been a build-up. Like this whole vacation, I feel like has been a build-up to Bay Lake Tower. And of course, other than Boo Bash, this will be our return to Magic Kingdom. Since we've been staying in the Crescent Lake area, we've really focused on Hollywood Studios and Epcot. Have not stepped foot in Animal Kingdom yet. We'll get to that next week. And then, yeah, we haven't used any of our day tickets to go to Magic Kingdom. So we're gonna do that tomorrow, and I'm really excited. Today was Saturday, so crowds were higher. It was busy. It was pretty crowded. Ride lines were long-ish, pretty long, and like the walkways in World Showcase, especially once it hit, I don't know, 2 p.m. or so, were pretty bad. So tomorrow's Sunday, so I'm expecting high crowds again, but then, you know, we'll get to Monday and hopefully it'll be a little easier to breathe, a little more enjoyable for us. But we overall had a pretty chill day. I mean, we mostly spent the time socializing. We didn't push too hard. We thought about hopping over to Hollywood Studios, you know, after we came back to the hotel for a midday break, but the wait times just looked pretty bad. So instead we just had a really relaxing dinner with our friend, and I am glad. I think it was a well-deserved little break day for us.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of vacation, right?
Yes, totally. But plenty more content coming. We still have about a week left here, so make sure to hit that thumbs up button to like this video and subscribe to the channel. You can ring that bell icon to receive notifications whenever I post new videos, so you will always see the new vlogs coming. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey, and we will see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD. Bye!